Hi, Amber. Welcome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. What brings you in today?
So it realized hit me my birthday was last week
Okay.
and I turned 34 and I started looking around in my life and realized, everyone around me is married, my friends are married, they're having families, and here I am single with nobody. And I'm getting up there in age and it's starting to hit me hard that I'm single and 34.
So it sounds like this recent birthday kind of got you thinking about your life in a different manner.
Yes, it has. It made me realize that I'm younger. I'm not as young as I used to be.
And when you say I'm 34, I'm not married, um, what kind of feelings did that bring up for you?
It made me sad. It made me realize that have probably put my sights on a different thing than worrying about having a family.
And when you say your sights on different things, could you explain that for me?
Um, you know, when I was younger, I didn't really have a family. I was raised by a single mom, and so I thought, why have that in my life when I can just do my own thing and be job oriented instead of having a family? And now that I am older and I pushed that off, it's made me realize that, holy cow, you're 34 and you don't have a family.
And talk to me about, you say you were job oriented. Talk to me about that decision. How has that worked out in your life?
It's worked out well. I went to school and I graduated, and at first I was a nurse, and then I just graduated recently with my PA.
Okay.
So, that aspect has gone well because I've achieved what I wanted to achieve in life.
So it sounds like you've made a huge accomplishment that you're proud of as far as your career is concerned.
I am. I'm proud. It took a while, but I'm here.
Great, great. So the sadness that you feel about not having a family, um, what kind of behaviors is that bringing up for you?
It's made me kind of distant myself from all my friends, because they have that family life. They have, each other, and they want to do stuff together as a family. And then I feel like I'm the third wheel out there being, not having anybody.
And tell me about the instances when you do hang out with your friends who have families. What does that feel like for you?
In the beginning, it's fun because I haven't seen them in a while. It's nice to catch up. And then they kind of start talking about their lives together. They take the kids to soccer practice. They, go on family trips. And then it just makes me sad because I have nobody to do that with. I just stay home with my dog. And I don't have the life of going out and hanging out and going to the zoo. And I don't do that because it's why do that by yourself.
So the interpretation that you learned of family from your mom being single was what?
Just when I was younger, my parents were so much in love, or it seemed like they were so much in love. And it turned ugly and my father left. So it made me realize, I was like 10 when it happened, that I didn't want to go through the sadness that my mom went through and the hard times of having to raise me and my brother by herself for as long as she did and the struggles she went through. It wasn't worth the sadness that came along with it, because it could be all rainbows and sunshine from the beginning, but horrible in the end.
So marriage is not worth the sadness.
Yeah. It makes me feel that, why be sad when if you don't have anybody, you don't have to worry about being disappointed in what's going on.
So it sounds like marriage equals disappointment to you.
Yeah.
Is the core belief that you have about that.
That's what I mean, that's how I see it. That's what it is in my life. Why be, like I said, why be disappointed when you can, do everything you want to do in a job? in my mind, it's be successful alone than have somebody else tag along and put a, put a damper on it when stuff starts to go bad.
And talk to me about how your father leaving, um, how did you internalize that about yourself?
It just, seeing her go through hurt and him completely shut out of our life when he left, it made me sad because I didn't have that relationship. And if I have a family and that happens, I don't want my kids to go through the same thing that I went through of being sad and disappointed because, he just walked out of our lives.
So you're saying you did not have a relationship with your father?
After he left, I didn't.
Okay. And as his daughter, what did that say about you? How did you internalize your father's love or respect for you as his child when he didn't have a relationship with you?
It made me not feel like he doesn't have any love or respect for us, for me, because if he just walked out, that means, and had wanted to have nothing to do with us, and that means that he really didn't love us. He would much rather go and do whatever he was doing than be a family and hang out with us. He could have at least called or told him to somehow set up a birthday, send us a card, and he never did. It made me sad to think, how can someone who said he loved you as much as he did just walk out of my life, walk out of your life forever.
And how did you act that out as a teenager?
I wasn't the best kid as a teenager because my mom was a single mom, so she wasn't there all the time. So I kind of went out and did my thing and pushed boundaries that I probably shouldn't have because I didn't have the stability in my life that I should have had when he was there.
And your history of relationships?
It's been more of, one night stands, I guess, and never really a committed relationship because I didn't want to have to, get committed into somebody and then have the same thing happen where they just walk out of my life as well.
So it sounds like your dad taught you that you said earlier that there was no love or respect.
Mm-hmm.
And based on your actions or your prior behaviors, is it possible that you learned that you were unlovable?
I guess because I just felt like if he didn't love me, then who would love me? He was the only man that I've had in my life. He just walked out of my life. So if he walked out of my life, what's keeping, a boyfriend or a significant other from walking out of my life as well? What did I do wrong to make him walk out of my life,
And tell me about your adulthood, right? Moving forward, your adulthood, you said you made some major accomplishments with your career and everything. Have you given, how have you given the opportunity to have a significant other in your life?
I guess I really haven't because, I would go out when my friends were still single and we would go out and we would meet people, but I wouldn't, it wouldn't lead to anything more than, what it was because I didn't want some man to come in and step in and tell me that I can take care of you and you don't need to achieve these goals and then me fall for it and then him just leave and walk out of my life and then totally screw everything up in my life,
So your independence sounds like it's important to you.
Yeah, it is. I don't want to, if I guess I'm at the point now in my life to where if I did find somebody, then if they do leave, I'm still able to be on my own. It's not to say that I had to, that they supported me 100%, but I can be independent.
So it sounds like you feel more secure with your own personal goals, that you're willing to try a relationship.
I think I'm at the age now, and I'm looking around and realizing that, I want that life. I want to have a family life. I want to be able to be a wife and have kids and do the fun things that they get to do with their families, that I'm, alone, and have completely shut myself out of their lives because I don't want to be the third wheel in the relationship with friends.
So it sounds like that's a goal of yours, to be a wife, to be a mom, to have this family structure where you can have fun and enjoy relationships. Um, but perhaps your beliefs or your core beliefs, what you've learned from your family as a child, is kind of causing um, some hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
So, how would you like to move forward with that?
I mean, I guess I just need to do what I can to try to get over how I feel, because not everyone's like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody is going to be a horrible person. When you find the right person, even if you think it's the right person, it could still go wrong. I just need to get over the what ifs
Mm-hmm.
and do the, can be's.
That's a great point that you bring out. That everybody is not going to fit that mold of, um, you know, abandoning or neglecting their family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that requires, um, you know, some trust qualities.
Mm-hmm.
How would you define your trust qualities at this point?
Right now, in this point in my life, I feel like I still have trust issues, just because I haven't ever been shown that not all guys are the same, that they're not going to leave. I haven't really ever given anybody a chance to not, to show me that they're not the same as my father was.
And in giving someone a chance, what do you think would be some hindrances that you would experience?
I mean, I think that, I have to accept the fact that there could be some disappointment before there's happiness. And I need to accept that, the first time I do get disappointed, not to just give up, because if I do, then I'm going to be in this situation forever.
And so when you say disappointment, what is your background in disappointment as a child?
I mean, I guess just the disappointment of, I felt like I disappointed my parents, and that's why they split up. Because, as being the oldest one, you try to, maybe I wasn't the best kid, and that's why they started fighting all the time. I don't need to do something wrong and have them just automatically shut down in my life, and then me just give up.
And how did your parents confirm that you were the reason they broke up or divorced?
They haven't. My mom doesn't like to talk about it, and when I have told her, was it because of me? They always, when we were younger, tried to assume through the divorce that it wasn't us. It's just that they weren't meant to work out together.
So they never actually confirmed that you were the reason why.
They didn't.
Did you trust that?
Yes and no. I mean, I trust it because it's coming from my parents, but I guess as a kid, that's always in the back of your mind when going through something like that, that maybe it was because of me that they didn't last.
What could it have been about you that would cause a relationship to fail?
I don't know. We weren't the best kids growing up. We were kids. We were kind of pains in the butt. So maybe it was just too much for them to make it through. Us being bad. My little brother was horrible and was always in trouble. And instead of helping him get better, I kind of egged it on so him to get in trouble more, like older sisters do. And I feel like maybe that they finally had enough of that and just split up.
So maybe it was too much for them. maybe that was their issue, would it still make it your issue?
As I'm getting older, I'm realizing not. Probably not, because, I mean, the older I get, the more I realize that other things come up in life other than the little things that we did. I'm starting to realize the bigger picture of, everything that went on. We struggled, so I know it was a financial struggle as well. And maybe now that I'm getting older, I need to accept the fact that things happen, and it's not just because of me that it happened. There's a bigger picture. I need to look at the bigger picture instead of trying to make it the littler picture of it, the little things in life.
That's really good. That's a really good insight that you're offering yourself. And you have one issue where you've seen your past history of your family structure. And now you see your friends, their family structure. And what have you taken away from seeing your family, your friends and their family structure and how it differs?
It just makes me feel like I would be happy to have it, because they're happy, they're in love, it's not the same situation that it was when I was growing up, and it made me realize that I could do that. It's not every relationship is bad, they may have 2 kids and a dog and a cat and a house, and, it's nice, they're in love, they have, they care about each other. They generally care about each other. And it makes me feel like I could do that. That could be something that I could get, behind and not have to worry about all the issues that have happened in the past.
You said they genuinely care and love each other. Do you think that means they don't have disappointments or any type of disputes with one another?
No, I think they do. Everybody's human, If you're, I've heard in the past, if you're not fighting, then it's not right, because everybody's giving in. It's not a 50-50 chance. It's both people have to give 100% and give their thoughts and feelings, because you don't want, if you're always agreeing with somebody even though you don't like it, it's going to eventually overwhelm you, and you're just going to have enough.
So how do you have disappointments and still a happy marriage, do you think?
I think that they talk it out. They have an open communication with each other, and I feel like if they didn't have that open communication, like my parents didn't, that situation will happen.
So open communication sounds like one of the main takeaways you've learned from your friends' relationships with your spouse. And so how are you willing to offer that open communication while you develop your trust issues?
I think if I'm open and honest with the person that I feel that I could spend my life with, that maybe they can help me get over the fears that I have. If they can help me realize that they're not the same as my father was. If we have that open communication with each other, if I have that open communication with them, then hopefully they'll have their open communication with me. And we can get through this together and actually start a life together.
So it sounds like the open communication would really lead you to both of you all accepting one another where you are. Is that right?
In our lives, yeah, where our lives are at.
So, and with accepting where your lives are at, would that still mean that you're unlovable?
No, I think that once I start, now that I'm starting to realize that it's not the same, that I'm starting to realize that I am lovable, and just because my dad did that to me doesn't mean everybody else is going to do it to me.
So how can you, what homework assignment could you give yourself this week to kind of confront that avoidance? Because it's only you've been avoiding trying to meet people because you weren't ready for a relationship, but now you sound much more open to the possibility of meeting someone. And how could you work on that with this new perspective you have?
I've been kind of cutting my friends out of my life. They keep telling me, oh, I have this person that you can meet, and it's so great, and I just kind of shut them off. I think maybe I can take them up on their offers and kind of see, what there is and not completely shut it down. Maybe go out on a couple of dates and see how it is instead of just automatically saying no and not giving them the time of day.
And when you feel like shutting them off, right? Because it sounds like that's been a habit that habitual behavior that you've been projecting. When you feel the urge to shut them off, what is something you can tell yourself to help you get over it?
Stop. Give it a chance. Just because they do one thing wrong doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do the same thing. Just stop, think it through. Don't overreact. Give them more than, don't give them a little string to go by. Give them some room to, make errors. It's okay to make errors.
Because we're all human, right?
We are.
And I heard you say that earlier.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, wonderful, Amber. It sounds like you have the tools that you need to work on this journey. And I look forward to hearing about it next week and how you've grown.
Yes, thank you so much for helping me realize, that I can get over this. It's not something I can't get over.
Great. I'll see you next week.
See you next week.